Yes! Do you play fighting games? Do you practice martial arts? If you said yes to one of those, did you know that the journey in learning the other is really similar? There's the start, the struggle, the payoff. I love martial arts. I've been doing it for nearly a decade now. I also love games, but I never got into fighting games. So for the next 30 days, I'll be challenging myself to learn Street Fighter V as if I was learning a new martial art. And at the end of this, I'll be going up against a top Ryu player.
Thank you for waiting.
You know, I was told good and bad things about Street Fighter V, but I decided it would be my first fighting game. And the character that was going to take me on this journey was this guy, Ken Masters. Why? Have you seen him in Street Fighter 6? Since I was taking this challenge seriously, I went and bought an arcade stick. It was secondhand. I was ready. Like entering my first class of martial arts, I booted up the game. Now, I had read up on the game beforehand, and I'd watched some videos, and I was hoping this was going to mentally prepare me. It did not. For the first time, I throw out a punch, I throw out a kick, and nothing else. I definitely wasn't moving around like the pros I'd seen on the videos. Thank goodness, the tutorial wasn't too hard. I have a full-time job, and finding time is always tricky. So I was dedicating 30 minutes to an hour every night before bed to practice, no matter how dead I was. It was like learning forms in shadowboxing. I was practicing my motions and forming muscle memory. I was actually noticing that my wrists were getting sore after playing, but I was so excited to play again. I was finally confident enough to play against a real person for the first time. It felt like my very first sparring match. I was nervous, I was excited, I was eager to fight. And I lost. I lost again. And again. Holy moly, I kept losing. First thing I realized, people catch on to you. You can't keep doing the same things over and over hoping it will work. Fighting a person is completely different to fighting a computer. After this first week, I definitely didn't feel like a fighting game player yet. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even realize I was making mistakes. I've seen a lot of newcomers start a martial art and quit after the first week because they haven't done any of the cool stuff yet. You gotta persist so you can get better. Okay, so if I asked you, what does a high-level karate practitioner wear? Chances are you'd say black belt or red belt. Many martial arts have a grading system, and for Street Fighter V, this was the online rankings. Usually in martial arts, when you undergo a grading, you get tested in front of an audience. It's scary, but I had to recreate this atmosphere to test my methods. So what I did was I started playing rank live on stream. Yeah, I was super anxious here. I was getting advice throughout the stream, which I really needed, but I found myself struggling to absorb that information while simultaneously trying to apply it. I was overwhelmed, but I told myself I would always press that rematch button even if I knew I was outclassed. It's like a fight or flight response. Everything is telling me to run, but there was always something new for me to try, something for me to learn. How did I feel during this part? Conflicted. I was really glad that I was making progress, but at the same time it felt like I was just getting lucky, that I didn't actually earn those wins. I was playing reactive, I wasn't taking the initiative, and every fight it was like I was just trying to survive. I was really aware of my bad habits, but I kept doing them, and I wasn't adapting at all. I was panicking, and you'll see that I was actually mashing against this person. Oi! This was probably my worst moment. I didn't know how to deal with this player. They kept attacking me from afar, and when I got close, they'd do the same pattern, and I'd start from square one all over again. I couldn't do what I wanted. I couldn't play my game. So I got frustrated silently. And I gave up. I started spamming. Don't look. Oh, stop. Bridge. Stop. Don't. To be honest, I thought I was going to crack under the pressure and struggle, especially from people watching me. But in fact, everyone was so supportive, and it really kept me going. The feedback was so important, especially during this first time. Kind of like this video. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this, so please leave me feedback in the comments. If you think what I'm trying to do has some sort of value, please consider liking and subscribing to let me know. I managed to win my matches somehow, and in 2 streams, I went from rookie to super bronze. Man, I was painfully aware of my lack of knowledge and skill, but I was also hungry to learn. I was motivated. On top of my nightly casual matches, I was now watching and re-watching YouTube videos on how to go through ranked. And when I got tired of these, I referred to match videos to see what great Ken players were doing. I was even accepting games from our Discord community. By editing this video, I was forced to re-watch my ranked matches. Don't get me wrong, I cringed at what I saw. And I've seen videos of me practicing martial arts. This was that exact kind of cringe. It reassured me that I was actually improving. So when the time came for that next stream, I was seriously aiming to get silver ranked. Did you know that every time I put my arcade stick on my lap now, it kind of feels like I'm ready for a fight? Something I never had with other games. Again, on stream, I was battling my way through ranked, and I somehow climbed to Ultra Bronze. But I was still not managing my resources properly, and things I pulled off in training mode, I never did in matches. I tried really hard, but I couldn't get to silver. There was only 2 weeks left until my big fight, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get to silver at the rate I was going. This was probably the hardest part of my journey. At this point, every day I'd been playing Street Fighter V, I was consuming content about it, I was editing this video on it. I was even starting to think at work about Street Fighter V. That wasn't good. Because I couldn't get casual matches anymore, I was starting to play ranked off stream, only to find myself losing consistently. I got demoted back to Super Bronze. I kept playing and playing, but it felt like my mind and my fingers were tangled up, and what I wanted to come out, it never did. What came out instead was a jumbled mess. I was frustrated. My rank was getting lower and lower, and every time I was so close to winning, and I'd make a mistake at the critical moment. It sucked knowing that I could have won if I had landed just one more hit. My impatience to get better had resulted in the exact opposite. This was made even more stressful because I was trying to climb back to Ultra Bronze before my next stream. After just 4 weeks, I felt like I had reached a plateau, and I was stuck in Bronze. I didn't want to play anymore. I felt burnt out. And I was disappointed in myself. Was all of this effort and time gonna go to waste? Was I even gonna upload this video if I only went from rookie to bronze? What do you do when you hit a wall? I've thought back to treating this like a martial art, and I was reminded of what my old Sifu had told me a long time ago, back when I was concerned when new students were overtaking me. He told me I was putting so much more time into learning the new forms that my stance wasn't relaxed and my movements were stiff and tense. Turns out, I was overthinking. I was overtraining. All of this because I was fixated on my grade. What was holding me back was my mentality. I had to change my attitude to be prepared to take 1 step back in order to take 2 steps forward. For the first time since starting the journey, I decided to take a break from Street Fighter V. I went back to playing other games and watching random stuff on YouTube again. It was the reset that I needed. But I still wanted to get over this plateau, so I did the unthinkable. I went to Crown, the man I was challenging, and I asked for help. We jumped onto Street Fighter V and he watched me play first. And after losing, he asked me whether I had noticed what my opponent was doing. And honestly, No. I was so focused on what I was doing that I didn't. He pointed out their patterns to me, and it turns out they were doing the same things over and over again, but I didn't punish them for it. It was hard trying to fight differently, but it worked. And when I won, it felt less random. It felt more planned. So I tried playing smarter. Changing to this was hard, and I was actually losing at first, but I was learning again. If I lost the first round, I'll do better in the second round. And if I lost the first game, I'll do better in the second. So when I went on stream again, I had a new sense of confidence. Every time I got close to silver, and every time I was set back, it wasn't as demoralizing. I wanted to keep going. And then I did it. I reached silver. Oh, I did it! I'm silver. I couldn't believe it. To many, this might mean so little, and it seems so silly to celebrate it, but I felt a great mixture of personal achievement, gratitude, and relief. I was just happy. If we look at this chart from 2021, I sit around the 38 to 28 percentile of overall ranking. And this was crazy to someone who just started a month ago. And at last, the day was here. I was going to fight Crown, the fighting game pro. He's the strongest fighting game player I know, and I'd argue the best Street Fighter Ryu player in Australia. He's been playing since he was a kid. He travels to compete on stream one time. He went from rookie to ultra platinum in just 6 hours.
Promise once I get to ultra plat. Oh.
His guides and his gameplays on this channel are proof of his skill. Needless to say, despite my progress, I wasn't feeling confident at all. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Or lucky for me, I have footage of him playing Street Fighter V for 5 hours. The perfect study material. I learned 2 major things. Number 1, fireballs. He fires them in succession and uses them as a cover to get in. It's like he's jabbing at someone, and as they block, he closes the distance and bodies them. And number 2, don't randomly jump in. 99% of the time someone jumps at him, he knocks them back with an anti-air. Watching this footage made me realize just how ridiculously outclassed I was. Every move he makes is calculated. He is so patient. He'll wait for you to make that mistake. In the blink of an eye, you're stuck in the corner wondering how you even got there. What was my plan? Don't jump randomly. Use my fireballs to counter his, and when he does shoot a fireball, time a jump in. If I knock him down, keep that pressure on. Throws, neutral jumps, low kicks. Don't give him time to breathe. Other than that, relying on the fighting instincts I had built up.
Yo, 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 yo.
Whew. Alright, it's okay. I just gotta play.
Just gotta play.
I just gotta play. Just like
Getting
the
nervous,
training.
man.
Just like the
Don't get
training.
nervous. Just do what you're trained to do.
Not a great start.
Whoa!
Oh!
Is that what you're training to?
Wait for his fireballs and jump!
Oh, nice jump.
No, no! Stop complimenting me, man.
What do you mean?
I drop it every time you're like, nice! Oh, I live. I didn't, I died.
Nice job, man. Nice job.
Unsurprisingly, Crown easily took the first match. He was like a lion playing with his prey.
The fight starts inside and outside of the game, bro.
That's crazy. For me, it's the greatest battle of my life. For you, it's just a Wednesday, man. Oh, old habits die hard. I randomly jumped in and paid the price.
Oh man, why am I dropping combos? The lag, bro.
Lag. Man, that's
Lag.
Didn't drop that combo though. Didn't drop that one. In less than 7 minutes, he won 2 matches without me taking a single round. I thought it was over, but the bell didn't ring yet. I wasn't down yet. I wasn't gonna give up.
Sorry, man.
Oh, there's still one more. Oh, there's still one more. I honestly thought that was it, man.
You're delusional, man. It's too early.
It's too early. It's too early to give up, man. Oh, no! Oh!
Oh my
Oh!
gosh.
Come on, grab! No! Oh.
Oh no!
No! Here it comes. Oh no! Yes! No! Oh! I can't believe I got so close.
GG's, man.
GG. Oh, okay. Oh, how did I go, man? How did I go?
Not bad, man.
Not bad.
Much better than when you first started, I'll tell you that.
Oh, that was it, man. That's
it.
That's the best I can do after my
The end of
training.
your journey.
That's the end.
And
of
the
my
start of a new one, man. Start of a new chapter.
What do you think, as someone who never played fighting games, decided to take on Street Fighter V? What are your thoughts?
I think you've made a ton of progress. And you probably don't give yourself enough credit for how much progress you've made. You know, a lot of people play for the same amount of time and don't get this far. So I think you know, your fundamentals are really taking shape, which is good. It's good. See you in Street Fighter 6, man.
So Evo, I'm ready for Evo.
I'll see you at Evo, yeah.
Yeah,
Ready for
okay,
Evo.
all right.
Drown in pools. I'll drown with you.
Reflecting back, it's pretty crazy to think that I was able to get to where I was. I'm not a young man anymore, and I don't have the same amount of free time that I used to. I was scared that it was too late to start learning fighting games. But I learned so much about fighting games, and I gained confidence as a player. Are fighting games and martial arts hard? Yes. I started the both of them with insecurity. But the mental fortitude and confidence you develop from doing them makes you realize if you can overcome these things, you can overcome the obstacle life throws at you too. And although not every night anymore, I'd still sneak in a few games before I go to sleep. The fighting game journey doesn't end after you complete a game. You keep fighting to improve. And it doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you don't stop. In the beginning of this video, I asked if you played fighting games or if you did martial arts. If my personal journey has inspired even one person out there to get started or to learn more about either one of these, then this video was a success. I'm Bridge, I'm a beginner at fighting games, and I cannot wait to play again. See you all again soon, and have a great journey.
When you complete your training, you must show me the result of all your effort. Sure.